Woo! So I just finished watching Faking It, and this week's episode was like way better to me, in my personal opinion, than last week. Like, this week's episode was juicy, just like the season premiere. So let's get into the recap. So this one was called Lust in Translation. Lust in Translation, okay? And the reason it's called that episode is basically because these Brazilians are in, this week, exchange students or whatever, and things start to really heat up. So let me start from the beginning. So Karma and Amy are like chilling, on the school grounds or whatever. And Karma's like, hey, let's tell everyone that we broke up or whatever, so that we can just kind of move on and start fresh. So Amy's like, okay, cool, whatever. Amy at this point, I think she's pretty much just like go with the flow. Like, she's like so in love with Karma that she's kind of like hypnotized by whatever it is that she's saying, and she's gonna go along pretty much with whatever she's doing or whatever she says for her to do, and that's pretty much evident in this episode. So she's like, all right, let's go ahead and tell everyone that we're broken up. So they tell everyone, and no one really cares because like I said, the Brazilian exchange students come into town and they really heat things up. So Shane has definitely broken up with Pablo, which was that guy that he was seeing, from last season and into the first few episodes. They definitely broke up last week, and we knew that relationship wasn't gonna last because, Pablo was, celibate. So, and Shane is definitely not on that celibate tip. So that definitely was not gonna work out between the two. So Shane is like, yeah, let's get some nice Brazilian guys, whatever. They're in town. He's like trying to convince like Liam to get over Karma. So basically in this episode, Karma is trying to get Amy to get over her, and Shane is trying to get Liam to get over Karma. So it's kind of like everyone's trying to get over Karma in this episode, but it ain't really happening. So the Brazilians are in school, and Amy's in the lunch line, like getting some dessert or whatever, because they have like all these exotic treats, in celebration of the exchange students. And there's like this hot chick or whatever, she comes over and they like grab like the same little thing of like flan, and they decide to like, share it or whatever. And, Karma's like encouraging them, like, yeah, go ahead, Amy, move on from me, basically. So Amy sits with the girl, and she's digging her or whatever. They have their little flan and they're like chilling or whatever. And then what else happens? Oh, there's also a carnival. Some lady, I don't know who this lady is, but she was like telling Lauren, that she's in charge of putting the carnival together, which is a Brazilian big, like parade thing that they do. They get all dressed up in like these really extravagant costumes and things like look it up. It's like really fun. It looks like it is anyway. I've never actually been to one, but Lauren's in charge of putting it together. But the translation definitely gets lost because she actually puts together like a full functioning carnival, like with the Ferris wheel and the rides and the games and all that. So she puts that together, and so that goes down. So they're at the carnival or whatever, and I left out this really good part. Amy sees like this really cute Brazilian guy. Like, I mean, he is fine. He was cute. And Carmen's like digging on him too. And Carmen's like, wait a minute, so you like guys as well? And then Amy's like, I don't really know. Like, sometimes it just happens, Basically, Amy's digging on both sexes right now. She's liking girls and she's liking guys. So she's confused. Like I said, last week I was kind of hinting that that's what was going on. And it's definitely what is occurring. So yeah, she's confused. And they get to the carnival or whatever. And Karma's like still trying to get Amy to like talk to, the Brazilian chick. I think her name was like Fabiana or something like that. She's gorgeous. And she's like trying to get her to talk to her or whatever, and it's working pretty much, like they're vibing, but Karma's like basically like putting her foot in her mouth, because the harder she tries to get Amy and this chick to, you know, talk organically, it's like having the reverse effect, and it's like going nowhere. So they're like at the game and they're like playing it or whatever, and Karma like takes over, and you know, Fabiana like storms off. She's like, ugh, whatever, I'm out of here. And they can't really communicate because, you know, they're speaking like Portuguese, because, you know, they're from Brazil. And Karma's like doing the translation or whatever for him. So it's definitely difficult. So that happens, and then like towards the end of that, and then she tries to talk to the guy. I'm like all over the place with this recap. So then she tries to talk to the guy. Amy tries to talk to the guy that she saw earlier, that she thought was really cute. And same instance, you know, they end up getting on like this Ferris wheel, and he like gets freaked out. Amy and the guy end up getting on this Ferris wheel, and Amy like gets freaked. The guy gets freaked out. The guy gets freaked out, and then he's like has to be rushed away in like an ambulance or whatever. So basically, Amy isn't hitting it off with this guy or this girl. So it's just chaos. And then towards the end of the night, you know, she does end up kissing Fabiana, which was the Brazilian chick that had stormed off, and she's been talking to you and she was sharing a flan with. She does end up kissing her towards the end of the night. Fabiana approached her, and Karma's like over there like with her like what do they call it? I can't think right now. Bifocals, or no, that's not it. Binoculars. She's over there with her binoculars, like spying in on like Amy kissing Fabiana, and Shane walks over and he's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm just trying to make sure that Amy's moving on properly." And Shane's like, "No, blah, 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 blah." What did he say? Basically, they talked, and Shane's like, you know, "I'm mad at you because you lied about being a lesbian, and you're not really a lesbian. And then you made Karma fall for you, and then you made Liam fall for you, and I just don't get it." So then he kisses her, like, shocker, right? And then he kisses her, and he's like, "And I still don't get it," and he walks away. Well, of course you're not going to get it, Shane. You're gay. You're not going to get it. So, yeah, he walked off. And he's basically, like, dumbfounded why everyone, like, loves Karma. So then what happened? I'm like, it's, like, so much information in my brain. So then, yeah. So after Amy finished kissing Fabiana, she basically realized that, you know, it was cool and everything, but she's basically not over Karma. And of course, she's not going to be over her, you know, by kissing one other person. She's in love with Karma, so she's not going to just get over her easily. So basically, the girls realize, you know, that it's going to take time for her to get over her, and she's like, okay. So they get on the Ferris wheel at the end of the episode, and they're like having a good time, and then you see Liam like sitting there like looking at Karma as she's up in the Ferris wheel, and Shane walks over and he's like, you know, "Are you ever going to be able to get over Karma? You know, you should just go ahead and be with her." And Liam's like, "Well, I can't be with her because basically I slept with Amy." And Shane's just like, whoa. And that's pretty much where the episode ends. And we know that, you know, Karma and Liam are obviously not going to be able to get together until Liam can sort out his feelings, you know, or sort out just the emotions that he has with, you know, having slept with Amy. They just need to sort that whole thing out so that Karma and Liam can be together, because Amy and Carmi are obviously not going to get together. So, yeah. Other things that happened in this episode, Shane was trying to get Liam to move on from Karma, like I said earlier, and he was trying to, like, put her off on, like, you know, some Brazilian girl or whatever so that he could talk to his male cousin. But of course Liam is still hung up on Karma, and he wasn't trying to, you know, talk to that chick like that. He could care less about her, even though she was stunning. Brazilians are just smoking. They're gorgeous. So, you know, he wasn't trying to talk to her like that. So, you know, whatever. And then we also saw Lauren. We could, you know, pretty much see the struggle between him really trying to get over Carmen, but it ain't gonna happen. I just had to throw that in there real quick. We also saw Lauren talking to that new guy. I still don't know his name, but he is kind of cute. He is. He's kind of cute. He's kind of cute. And, you know, he was flirting with her a little bit. You know, there's a little flirting back and forth. So I think that might be a little love interest for Miss Lauren going forward. I can definitely see that happening. And that's the same guy from last week that was helping Liam with the whole flat tire thing. And, you know, he's a new kid in school. So, yeah, I like him. I think he's a nice, cool character, you know. Have a little love interest with Lauren, you know, see how it works out or whatever. You know. Alright, so that's it for this week's recap. Let me know if you guys, you know, if you were feeling this episode, what you thought about it. And I will talk to you guys in the next one.